This is Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Brought to you by Leading Lights, LLC. Three, two, one. Hello and welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. I'm Cecil Kenney, and today we don't have Raphael, we got Sam Lattof on the other side. Say hello, Sam.
How's it going, everybody? Happy to be back on the show, Cecil. Thank you so much for having me.
Always, man. Sam, obviously, of the Blazing Musket. He'll be joining us to cover the Inter Miami travesty, the Inter Miami disaster, whatever you want to call it. Just not a good showing, and also looking ahead to nothing basically because we got a bye week. So we'll look up some international call ups. We'll check out the Revs loanies. We'll check out the playoffs. But yeah, we'll thank Leading Lights for sponsoring the podcast, and we'll dive into that Inter Miami lost. Oh, that was a game.
Yeah, no,
One.
that was a rough one. Like you said, 4-1, just a complete domination by Miami. And after the Reds seemed to give fans some hope, not really a lot left remaining after the performance against Miami.
I don't even know how much, like, after everything, I don't know how much hope there was, and then there's no more hope. Like, there wasn't much hope going into the Miami match, but I was expecting something along the lines of three, like, we'll get into that later, 3, 4 goals scored by Miami and, like, one or two by us. So, like, it's around the ballpark we were looking at, but in the end, like, it just looked, the way we played was so much worse than what we expected. Like Miami is Miami; they'll do Miami things, but if the Revs played so poorly, so I don't like Allen was in a defensive mid. I feel like we'll just get into this now. I feel like he had his worst like first half or just worst game of his Revs senior team career. It wasn't bad by any means, but it wasn't like it was his worst to date. Given he's only played what 4 games, 5 games, seems to get a yellow in just about all of them. So who are we? Santiago Suarez.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And I think even post game, Pablo Marea said that maybe, Allen had a good run of games, but maybe would have been better suited to coming off the bench for this one. Obviously, it's a big moment you're going up against, especially even in the midfield. The likes of Messi, Rodrigo De Paul. That can definitely be a lot, especially for someone as young as Allen to go into. Definitely seem maybe a bit overwhelmed, but I think it doesn't take away from overall his ability. I think it's just, one of those poor games, something he'll look back on and realize that wasn't his best performance and kind of use it as motivation going forward. But would definitely agree, probably, for him, one of his worst games. And like you said, the Revs, they didn't necessarily, you know, Miami played well, but you look at some of the goals, a lot of it, especially for me, was just really focused on wanting to play out of the back. You saw, I think particularly the second and third goals, it was just, or more the second goal. Um, they decided to play the ball quickly, play it back, and Matt Turner's kind of rushed into a pass, and it just seemed like some poor mistakes, poor kind of soccer IQ. So like you said, Miami's gonna, have a goal like, Messi was able to draw up, later in the game. But when you make those mistakes, that's when it really costs you and kind of ruins your chance of being able to win.
Yeah. Tanner Beeson had a tough game. Brandon By had a tough game. Matt Turner, I feel like they're gonna give him crap for, being the goalkeeper behind a 4-1 loss. But at the end of the day, like it was a bad performance by like the entire defense. But I thought like I don't know what happens to Tanner Beeston when he faces Messi. I think it's just like starstruck type thing. Like he's just awestruck that Messi's in front of him and he's guarding Messi that he just forgets how to defend. Because this is having like 3 goals now. Like 2 goals yesterday, and you got 1 goal in the other game. So, and then you got Brandon By who like somehow got passed by, like megged him, and then they went around. He just kind of like got stuck. You didn't even have time to show to the. You didn't even have time to show the replay on the Dortmund goal,
Yeah.
and Miami had already scored. Like we're all caught sleeping because Miami takes the kick off, and it's just like, we're gonna take our sweet time. And one dude just and goal. Like
Yeah,
Basically,
that really took the wind out of the sails, if you will. And like you said, it was really the entire back line. Even like a guy like Brian Ceballos, he's largely been like the best defender. He got my vote for Defender of the Year, but it wasn't exactly his best performance. So I think really it was more on the back line as a unit. And then I don't think, Matt Turner was really to blame. I think really he had a decent game, made some, again, some key shot stops, but when you're going up against Miami and you make those mistakes, it's hard to keep the ball at the back of the net. So like you said, more on the back line than Matt Turner.
yeah, it's tough when facing Messi, always. And so when it comes to stopping goals from Messi and Alaba and Teo Allende, he himself a game.
Man, I was on an Inter Miami podcast and they were talking about Tego Allende like he was Giacomo Vrioni. And to my surprise to see him score 2 goals, I couldn't believe what I was seeing based on the intel I got from Miami folks.
From from when we did our match earlier on this season of like covering the Inter Miami Revs match, I think I highlighted Allende because he has like 7 assists this season or something like that. I might be thinking of someone else, but I think it's Allende. He's like 7 assists and now like 3 goals. Like, hey, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are. I don't
Yeah,
know why you
man.
guys are confused. He's 26, so he's not old, he's not young. Um, but like he's 26, 3 goals, 7 assists. He's playing alongside Messi, who's the leading goal scorer. He's gonna take some production. Suarez is gonna take some production. Like, I don't know. It
It's like
might
you said, man, he's been putting up some good numbers, so maybe I was giving some bad info, but yeah, man, he had a great performance. Especially obviously there was a mistake on the goal, but he absolutely rocketed a shot past Matt Turner. And again, it's hard to even point out a player who had a poor performance like, for Miami. I think the only one who might be, I'm forgetting his name. I just know he looked like Ryan Spalding, but on the Dor Turgman goal, he got
Falcone.
yeah, Falcon. So yeah, he got nutmegged on the Dor Turgman goal. So that would probably be the only sore spot for Inter Miami. But besides that, just great performances all around.
Yeah, I was mistaken. Busquets now has 8 assists. I was thinking of him. Allende has 11 goals.
So those pretty good
And
numbers.
11 goals, 1 assist. When you're playing alongside Messi, who has 24, Suarez, who has 9, and then you got like assists all around. Alba has 5. Like, you're playing alongside these guys who are taking big time production, and you're still in double digit goals. Like,
Good,
I don't
good
know why we're
performance.
I don't know why we're complaining. If
Hey,
that if that if
Miami fans love to complain. So
if that's Giacomo Brioni to y'all, can I take him? I
yeah,
guess.
I was joking on there. I'm like, hey, we'll give you Leo Campana and just bring him on over.
That would be nice. Get Tato Allende on here like that. That'd be a. I'll take that. That Dora Tushman goal was really nice though. Like 2 goals, 1 assist in 2 games. Like what is that? Like 110 minutes for him, something like that. Like, hey, he's a player.
Yeah, he's looking to be the real deal. And I think obviously after the first game, you're like, oh, maybe there's something here. But I remember we were sitting in the press conference and Jeff Lemieux joked with us. He's like, "You guys know who the last person to do that on his debut was?" And he was like, "Luca Langoni." And obviously, Luca Langoni hasn't exactly had an amazing career, but I think the fact that Turgeman was able to follow it up, with a goal against Miami, it was really kind of out of nowhere. He just kind of made it on his own. I think, obviously, with the nutmeg, and then he just launched a shot. So I think it really is kind of a dual display of his abilities. You saw in the last home game, he was able to use his speed, and also to his, ability of the ball to get by defenders and score. I think in this match, it was more just kind of using more of that skill and power to get a goal. So really excited to see what he can bring, especially, in 2026 with a new head coach. He'll probably be the overall top striker for the squad. So really excited what he can do come 2026.
Yeah, I was talking to my dad during the game, and I was saying like, all right, we're down 2-1 or like 2-0. What do we have to play for? Tershman's trying to make the case that he's going to be the starting striker for the Revs in a one striker system if that's what we end up going to. Chunkala's just trying to get off the bench. Luka's trying to get off the bench. That's what's trying to happen there. You got Tanner Beeson trying making his case on why he should be the sixth center back on this team next year. You got uh Brendan Bye on why he should get his contract renewed. You got Will Sands on why he should be on this team next year. Uh, just like Campana, why should I be on the bench? Like some of these guys, I just don't know. I don't know what to do with these guys because when you got a DP, like we've had the conversation in the past, when you got Chunk coming off the bench as a DP, you just can't. That's not a spot I'm willing to waste.
Hmm.
So I we were saying how I think he's out at the end of the year, which like at at the end of the day, if we didn't sign him, it would have looked bad. But now that we did sign him, it also looks bad. So there's really no winning in that scenario. But it's going to be an interesting offseason. If we had a big offseason last year, just imagine what this year looks like with a new head coach and overhaul the squad again. Jackson Newell is trying to figure out his way on just how to make money.
Yeah.
Jackson Newell is raking in money. Just
Oh yes, shout out to the $1 million man, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Obviously it seems like Brandon Bry is probably going to head to free agency. Wyatt Onsberg seems like a guy who probably will get let go. And it seems like Andrew Farrell could be on the precipice of his final game. So there is some flexibility there, but then, like you mentioned, I think, whether it's Thomas Shankali or Luca Langoni, I think one of those guys has to go just to open up those spots there and maybe have the new head coach be able to bring in a DP to really show, what they're capable of and to boost the roster. But while there kind of needs to be changes, there isn't exactly a lot of flexibility according to, the amount of GAM that the Revs have.
yeah. Well, let's just use money and not gamble. Just
If only such a novel concept could be used only in MLS, but
well
they
when
just
we're
discovered that last year.
when we're signing a guy like Tershman, are we sending Maccabi Tel Aviv just gam? Is that what's happening? Like, hey,
No, it's just a order to like buy down his contract or stuff like that. It's more for like those. They'll have to use GAM, for instance, to buy down Matt Turner into like a TAM player, so they'll have to use it there
yeah.
and stuff like that. So I believe, there's someone who did analysis who essentially showed that when you factor in the Revs have to use GAM to buy down Matt Turner, they're essentially in a deficit. So they'll have literally none to spend. So if they want to acquire a draft pick, acquire an international roster spot, or acquire a player using GAM or buy down a contract, they just won't be able to.
Well, those first two, we seem really good at selling, or when we got scammed out of an international spot. That was such a weird scammed out of an international spot. Just weird times.
Those are MLS deals for you, man. Absolutely crazy.
Just like, hey, Racing Club, a few years back, hey, we want Thomas Junkley. Here's 3 million in GAM. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but you can have it.
That would be hilarious if they just have to go to all these foreign clubs and just be like, "Hey, we have this thing called GAN. Here, you can have it."
And they're like, "What is this foreign currency?" And I'm like, They're like, "It's not even a currency. It's just kind of
A
monopoly.
made-up concept.
It's a made-up concept of money that doesn't exist. Do what you want with it, because we don't really know what to do with it anymore."
Exactly, exactly.
Well, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I guess I'll add an ugly in this. The good, Jackson Newell didn't play. If you've watched the podcast before, I have a problem with Jackson Newell. It's probably more of his contract, but still, I don't know how to feel about him anymore because after I said Caleb Porter's a nice guy, it turns out he's a terrible person. And then so had to retract that comment. I think you might know a bit about that, but
Jackson Neal seems like a good guy. I'll say that.
Jackson Newell, he seems to always be smiling. He seems to always like to get his picture taken when getting on a plane. So, I think he's probably a nice guy, but I've learned not to trust anything at this point. So,
But besides that, hey, at least the Revs got Dort Turkman. That's probably the only good thing you got out of this game.
the wins of the season. Dora Tershman in that 3-3 draw Like Colorado. That's what I'll take out of this season.
Oh, bit. Oh, the memories, the memories.
Win, Maxi Rudy. What do you mean? Man, he won us that game, yet we let him go.
Yeah,
Weird times to be a Revs fan, you know?
always weird times here. As Max Bretto said on the broadcast when Inter Miami scored after Dortmund scored, New England just can't have nice things.
I saw that. New England cannot have nice things.
That was a great call by him.
Oh, man. I think I had said something like that in the podcast the other day. Uh, oh yeah, no, it was in footnotes how I'd written are we allowed to have nice things? Because it was about the Allen transfer rumors to like Chelsea and places.
Oh yeah.
Chelsea could buy like anybody, so we can discount that one. But like Atletico Madrid, it's still just rumors. But you know, are we allowed to have nice things? Probably not. Except
Nah, Peyton Miller is gonna be on the way out. Allen will eventually be on the way out. It's yeah, just a ticking clock.
Barak is assisting in the Netherlands and is appearing in the Champions League. You got Tayshaun Buchanan doing well for himself at Villarreal.
Mm-hmm.
You got Adam Books at Udinese now.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, Georgi Petrovic starting for Bournemouth in the Prem. Are we allowed to have nice things? The answer is no. Because
Never, never.
Miller, I don't know if Miller's gonna make it through the offseason. I don't think Allen makes it through. Like he's gonna be 19 next year, and yet we're gonna get like nothing out of him, and he'll get sold like before he's 20. Uh, Feingold might be on the way out. Like if he has like a nice season next year, like there's all these young guys on the team, and yet they're all gonna be on their way out within the next 3 years. So.
What it means to be a Revs fan.
Welcome to a selling club, and we don't reinvest. Dor Tershman at this point is going to be out by the end of the he'll be out at the rate he's going at. He'll be out by mid-season next year.
Yeah.
If he keeps this up, he might just be like an Atletico Madrid player by summer 2026. He continues this scoring. Who knows? Uh,
Again, like you said, the benefits of being a selling club.
hey, at least we have money, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
we don't got wins. We don't got wins, but we got cash.
we're raking in money, Jackson Mule style. Well, Inter Miami kind of dominated us from every aspect, as you could guess. 55% possession to our 45, almost three expected goals to our point 0.7. They had 15 to our 11 shots, and they had 8 shots on target to our 5. They just kind of dominated. What do you expect? It's Inter Miami.
Exactly. They just got so much star power. And I mean, when you have the best player in the world on your team, it's hard to expect any kind of defense against them. So really wasn't necessarily surprised with the result.
Yeah, it's 4-1. It's Miami. We just played so incredibly poorly that it didn't feel like just 4-1. If it
Yeah.
was if we had played better and it was 4-1, we would be more forgiving. But we played at a level where we should have lost 7-0. So, and we're nowhere as bad as the Philadelphia Union, so I don't know what we're doing.
I don't know, man. Philadelphia Union supporter shield, baby. Congrats to them.
Just think about it. 2 weeks ago, they lost 7-0 to the Vancouver Whitecaps. So,
Again, the beauty of MLS.
welcome to Major League Soccer, everybody. We hope you enjoy your stay for half a year as a New England Revolution player and then get sold to a Big Five club. Well, I was so close to getting donuts. I had 3-1. At one point, I had 4-2. With a
I was right with you. I had 3-1 as well.
with a
That was my prediction.
with a Turgeman goal. If we only just didn't let a goal in, would have had donuts. That would have been nice. Raf had 3-0. He was close too. I don't even know who to give my man of the match to. It has to be Dor Turgeman though.
Yeah,
It
has
was
to be
it
Dortmund.
was a solo effort on that goal, and he is proving to be a very good player, even through 2 matches. I don't want to get too hopeful because I don't want him to turn out like Luca Langoni, but at the same time, hey, Alice, he played well.
Yeah, played well. Was it again just that ability to find the back of the net no matter what? Um, I think that's just what should have Revolution fans excited. So hopefully, don't get too excited, but he seems like he could be, a transfer that looks like it's hits and looks like, he could be a key player for the Revs moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. Uh, it's our next great striker. We're going from Bo to Buxa to Tershman. We just had a hiccup in the middle with Veroni and Campana for a bit, and had a little bit of a hiccup in the middle. But hey, it's the
Yeah,
same.
takes a while. It takes a few years to actually
It's
find a striker.
the same thing with the goalkeeper position. We went from Turner to Petrovic. Had like Vaclik for a half second. We had Ivic, and now we have Matt Turner again. Like we had that hiccup, and we move forward.
Exactly.
We move forward. Sell half the team. Move forward.
Exactly.
Well, if that's gonna be it, I'm gonna send it over to Leading Lights LLC, our sponsor of the podcast. Unlock the power of your platform data with Leading Lights, experts in transforming raw numbers into compelling benchmarks. Leading Lights helps a variety of companies turn insights into engaging stories that drive growth. Elevate your brand with data-driven content that captivates your audience and sets you apart from the competition with Leading Lights. Visit their website at leadinglights.io to see how you can transform your platform data. Hello, welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress, your home for our latest on the New England Revolution. Again, I'm Cecil Kenney. We got Sam Lattof on the other side, and we're looking at some international call-ups for the Revs. We'll deal with playoffs next time on episode 36. They all blur together at one point.
Oh, I kudos to you for keeping track past like 10. I would be done out after that. So kudos to y'all.
Appreciate it. Oh, we'll start from the back and move forward. Maybe. We'll start with Matt Turner though. Getting reappear back with the U.S. men's national team. For their Ecuador and Australia fixtures. Good to see him back there. Um, after his rough time prior to New England.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see if Matt Threes or Patrick Schulte gets the starts or if, Turner is the man there, but hopefully he at least earns a game or two while on international duty and like you said can make a claim for that starting goalkeeper position.
Make that claim. Yeah, go up, break down. Do we have any other center backs? No. So we'll go to Mamadou Fofana with Molly. I don't know those fixtures. That one came in late. But yeah, he'll be going with Molly once again. Good to see him back there. The Revs have a ton of call ups. And so it's good to see that.
Good just for I think just for him to hopefully build up some confidence, especially after maybe some rough performances. Hopefully, going back with the national team will help him there and get him ready for, the final, but also too, I think just more focusing on 2026.
Yeah, 100%. I think next up I'll head to Eric Klein. He hasn't appeared much for the first team, and he's going with the U20s, but not to the U20 World Cup, which Peyton Miller's in right now. Came off the bench today against South Africa in their 2-1 loss, which is kind of surprising. And then, you got he started against France, came off the bench against New Caledonia. Not sure how they've gotten there, but kudos to them. That's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, he'll be going with the Eric Klein headed with the U20 camp that's gonna play. Surprisingly, they're gonna play Finland's U20s, not out of the ordinary, but they're also gonna play Elche's B team.
Be
So
interesting to see how they square up compared to Elche's second squad, but definitely a
I,
good opportunity for Eric Klein, even though I wouldn't say it's exactly a first team selection for the U20. Seems like it's a B team, if you will.
yeah, 100%. Obviously, they're sending their number one squad to the U20 World Cup, but Elche's B team has to be a formidable opponent.
For sure, yeah, definitely going to be a big test for those guys.
I don't even know what goes on down there. I think it's like the fourth or fifth division of Spain.
But yeah, man, Elche though, they've produced some, good players, so definitely will be a interesting matchup.
Who knows? Who knows? We'll head to Cristiano Oliveira. We'll just start bouncing around. Cristiano Oliveira. I don't know why he's not with the first team and like with them more. Should be with them more. He doesn't have any games with the USU 17s, but it's a nice camp before that head coach Gonzalo Stigaras selects his guys to play in the November U17 World Cup. Um, yeah, hopefully he makes.
Hey, yeah, hopefully he makes the World Cup squad because definitely well deserving, and I think, hopefully, whether it be next season, obviously, probably due to the call up or what have you, but hopefully next season we see Oliveira get a few more first team minutes,
Yeah, 100%. Would have definitely happened under Jim Curtin. Unfortunately, he won't be joining the Revs next year. But
if only.
family always comes first. Take care of that. Prayers to him. Um, Makai Wells, he's with the U16s. Not that I don't think I saw any games for him, but yeah, another great shot for him. He's slowly breaking into that Revs 2 team, which is great to see. As a younger guy, you know, that's good to see.
Yeah, exactly. Just, no matter where you're getting involved in the US setup is always important. Obviously, it seems like they've kind of, scouted him and seen him as a player. So hopefully, we'll continue to grow there and, definitely seems more like one for the future of Revs too, but hopefully he continues to get minutes, whether it's the national team or, with the second team.
100%. We'll bump to my king, my Nigerian king, Al Hassan Yusuf. I rave about him on this podcast. I don't know why he hasn't started the last two games for the Revs. I think a partnership between him and Alan Oyerwath would be phenomenal. Because Yusuf seems to sit back farther. I feel like Polster ventures up a bit higher, but Alan seems to go up high and then back low. Yusuf seems to be more reserved and stay back more. And then Polster's that middle spot. But I feel like if you have an attacking defensive mid or an attacking like just center mid in Alan Oyroth, he goes up, and you got Yusuf to kind of stay back closer to half, and that like 40. Um, you know, I feel like that can make a great partnership. You haven't seen all that much of that with Polster being in there, but I feel like next season I think we might see more of that. Yeah,
Yeah, really excited for Alisson Youssef to get back with the Nigerian squad. Obviously, one of the more talented of Africa, so definitely great to see him there. And I think, like you've been saying, I think Alisson Yusuf's name should be kind of penciled in, especially more looking ahead. Maybe Pablo Mari is just looking to give him a little bit of a rest, but looking at the 2026, I mean, his name should be, written in pen on the starting 11. It's just who goes alongside, and maybe you kind of have Matt Polster and Alan Oyeroff split time, but Alisson Yusuf, has definitely been a good player for the Revs. I think he's done well and definitely well deserving of a international call-up.
I believe this is who said it. I think it was Matt Doyle, the MLS armchair guy. Um, yeah, I think I'm talking about the right guy. He had said how Yusuf has been terrible, and how he's happy that Oyerwath's taking the spot. Um, no, you haven't watched a Revs game. Let's be honest here. Because who outside of Revs fans, the few that are left, are watching the games other than the opposing team. Um, because if you watch,
Yeah, think. I don't think Allen's coming for Yusuf's job. If I think he's coming for anyone's job, it's probably for Matt Polster.
yeah, yeah, 100% there. Um, Yusuf, I feel like because like he doesn't have, I think he might have like one assist in the year, maybe a goal. I can't remember, but you don't see him like unless you watch him, which I am because he's my favorite player on the Revs. Um, unless you watch him, you don't really see him. But we'll use the Sergio Busquets quote that we've used so many times in this podcast. Um, what is it? If you watch the game, you don't see Sergio, but if you watch Sergio, you see the entire game. Um, You,
Yeah, I think, he's really a player that excels in like his defensive effort and maybe you'd want him, like you said, only being able to get an assist and, especially coming off of, being able to score a goal against Barca in the Champions League. Maybe you'd like to see more from him in the goal scoring department, but I think what you're asking of him is more to be kind of that defensive grinder, and I think, he's still able to find through balls and find pockets of space. So, like you said, might not show up in the stat sheet, but he's able to do some things that are very crucial for the Revs.
yeah, 100%. We'll bump to George Hershman now. He's been, good. Um, he'll be joining the Israeli national team for Norway and Italy fixtures in the UEFA World Cup qualifiers. He's been good.
Yeah, exactly. And he seems like he's someone who's pretty locked into the Israeli national team squad, so he should be someone who looks like right now is just getting minutes off the bench, but even then he's kind of locked in to get a call up. So will be interesting to see how many minutes he does get, and then also too just what it means, maybe more eyes will be on the Revs in terms of maybe Eli Feingold getting a call up, but definitely going to be interesting to see just how many minutes Dort Turbin gets with Israel.
Yeah, 100%. Dealt with those guys. So now it's Alex Moniz. Revs 2 forward going back to the Philippines national team. He's been with the youth squads for that as of late, but he's back with the senior national team. He'll play two matches, one team though, against Timor-Leste um, on the 9th and 14th. Good to see that. We'll take
Yeah, he seems someone who's, lucky to, be involved with the Philippines national team. Again, being on the men's national team at such a young age is definitely very valuable. So, hopefully he can get some good minutes out there, but definitely, considering his age, some, valuable opportunities there.
Yeah. He haven't seen him all that much as of late with Revs 2, as them having Liam Butts, who's been in and out of the Ghana international squad. So it's tougher for him to get game time now with them, but at the end of the day, making it with uh the Philippines national team is no slouch. Um and then we'll do Leo Capana. He's with Ecuador, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean at this point, I just hope that he stays healthy. So could go up against Matt Turner. It'd be great to see that. But yeah, going to be interesting to see how many minutes he gets, and I think really for Reds fans, they just want him to stay healthy. It doesn't really matter how many minutes he gets on international duty.
Is gonna get like called up as well injured and then like get injured.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen to Capani? He was injured,
Yep.
called up, and then sent back like 3 days later. Like, yeah, you're injured. No way.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was an interesting choice by Ecuador. So, like we said, hopefully he's able to stay healthy.
That would be nice. And then Paulo Tornberg Ayala is headed to El Salvador with the U16s. I don't know who this dude is. He is a U
You got me there. I'm not gonna lie either, but again, hopefully,
for him.
good for him, man.
You had me with the '09 guy that we signed out of Strikers FC. You know, no idea who that dude is, but
One for the future, man. Reb's always, churning
can't,
out prospects.
can't wait for him to be Revs 2 in 2 years, Revs first team in 2.5 years, and sold by year three.
Exactly. That's the timetable.
That's won't be with us by the time I graduate high school. He'll be in like a European team,
Yeah.
and I'll be graduating high school. Something to watch for. you know. Well, that's all the international call-ups. That was a lot of international call-ups. Yeah, Grant Emery, he didn't get called up, but he committed to UConn. That's something. Good for him.
Good
Uh,
for him, man.
he's got to watch. Um, yeah, I don't got much else. That's gonna do it for this episode of Foxboro's Fortress. Sam, got anything else to add?
Nah, just hopefully the Revs end the season on a bright spot and you have something good to talk about for the final up of the season. But great work, Cecil, and it's been a pleasure to be in the podcast with you.
Well, we appreciate having you. We as in me this episode. We had you on with Raphael earlier this season. Uh, Not many Revs people covering, the Revs. So, gotta show love to the people when they're here. If you aren't already, make sure you're following the Blazing Musket. Go check them out. They do some great stuff over there. Footnotes writer, Cam Benefit has written stuff for that. You write stuff for that. Um, Seth Mackenber writes stuff for that. Seth Man 31. That's what I know him by. So, um, and then Jake Cantonese, who's plugging me in his article. Go Eagles. Um, you know, throw
You
me.
you got a fan, for life in Jake. So with the football talk, you won him. You got him over. So
Um, and then also go check out Sam Lattof 22 on Instagram, and then Sam underscore Lattof on Twitter or X at this point.
whatever you want it to be.
At this point, like they don't even call it tweeting anymore. Like that's what it really got me. Like, come on now.
Yeah,
But
lost the spot.
it was great to have you. We appreciate you being here. And this was Foxboro's Fortress.